Time is such a precious commodity. At least that's what everybody tells me, because they're all rushing to go do something. Here it is, it's 4 p.m., 4:15, about 7 hours and 45 minutes left of 2025. But who's counting? It's interesting because, well, people, when they think about time these days, often think about, say, how little time they have to get things done, or how much they have to try to get done today, or how tired they are because they're not sleeping, or they wish they had more time somehow. And then what do you do with more time? Well, you might remember things. Maybe people of a certain age might remember where they were, say, when President Kennedy was assassinated. Maybe people of a little bit of a different age might remember where they were, say, when the space shuttle, the Challenger, exploded. Maybe some people might remember where they were on September 11th, when so many things happened all at once. Maybe people remember where they were on January 6th. Different things will kind of get you just to stop in your tracks for just a moment, and you remember that. You remember it. Maybe you remember because it was just so surprising, or maybe there was a personal connection for you. I remembered a high school friend of mine. She remembers President Kennedy's assassination because when she was a little girl, President Kennedy came to Troy. And her father took her downtown, and she was watching all the people on all the motorcade go by. When you're 5 years old, I mean, that's what you remember. Other people have connections with things. I know a man who remembered what it was like when he finally stepped foot on soil in this country after he returned from Vietnam. Different things that you will remember. Look at the shepherds in our gospel today. You might think, they've got nothing but time. You know, they watch the sheep. What do the sheep do? The sheep eat grass. The sheep walk around. The sheep rest. You keep an eye on them. They're not really going anywhere. You're there to take care of the sheep. They're not your sheep. They're really somebody else's sheep. But that's okay. You sit on a stump and watch them night and day. Or you walk with them as they go from one meadow to another. You have lots of time. So when something happens to catch your attention, like angels kind of coming with a message, wow, you sit up and take notice. Things you remember. And then they go and they see the child in Bethlehem, as was foretold to them by the angel. And they have a message to share. Glad tidings of good news for you and for all who are to hear about the child who was born in Bethlehem. And Mary, well, she's there that night, she and Joseph. But Mary takes these things in, and you kind of wonder, what's in her heart? Our Luke and gospel writer talks about how Mary held all these things in her heart. You're thinking, oh yeah. But then again, maybe you might be thinking, holding things in your heart too. Maybe you remember the birth of your firstborn child. Maybe you remember the day of your marriage. Maybe you remember the day when one of your children graduated from college. Maybe you remember an anniversary, a nice round number anniversary with all kinds of people around you with a cake and candles and celebrating you. Everybody has different things they remember. Sometimes the memories, they're difficult, they're bittersweet. Other times they're very, very wonderful and fond and warm. You wonder what Mary is remembering. What is she holding in her heart? Maybe we can be like these shepherds too, who have seen a great vision been given to us. What are we going to do with it, with the time that we have left? Yeah, time. Time's important. What do we make of it? How do we use it? And in this case, how do we help others come to know all about that child who was born in Bethlehem, all about that child who grew to walk in our midst, to listen to us, to feed us, to heal us, to lift us up, to offer us hope, and to give us a vision of being with the Father. I'm sure Mary has all those thoughts in her heart, even the ones that lead up to the cross. What can we do to share what's in our hearts for those who are hungry and thirsting? Maybe they're busy. Maybe they don't think we have time. We have to get them to slow down and listen to what we saw. We can tell them something very, very special.